So I'll just share a few words about this. I was meditating on the idea that our citizenship is in heaven. I guess you can kind of say our home is in heaven, and we're just foreigners here, and we're visiting. And it reminded me of verse Matthew 6:21. It says, I'll just turn there. Matthew 6:21, it says, "Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." So, just meditating on the fact that what I own, what my real, where my citizenship is, where my home is, where my value is, that's all in heaven, and that's the perspective that I want to keep before me all the time. I may not be rich in this life, but spiritually, in heaven, I'm a billionaire. And we're the wealthiest people that have ever walked the face of the earth in God's eyes. And I just want to keep that mindset. That is kind of, I really enjoyed what Sandeep had shared about God lavishing his mercies on us every morning. Kind of like working for this big rich company that just gives you these new gifts every morning and coming to your door. And it made me just think that I need to keep my mind set on that perspective more often, that my citizenship is in heaven and my riches are in heaven, and I can't look at myself as a poor beggar when things go wrong in this life. But God has been so good to me, no matter whether I'm going through hard times in this life or easy times. God has been so good to me. I was listening to this one song by a Christian songwriter about how God's been doubly good to him. He was actually singing about it was his wedding song that he was going to sing to his fiance or his wife the day they got married, and the song went something like, "God has been doubly good to me because he gave me you." And so, but then what happened was his marriage or the engagement broke off, and then I don't know if he, in his eyes, I don't think that he said that God's been singly good to me, but I don't deserve even that, so God's still been good to me. But then somebody said, isn't that kind of a cruel thought, that just because you didn't get the marriage that you wanted, that God hasn't been doubly good to you? And I kind of agreed with that criticism, that no matter who we are, God has been doubly good to me. If I have Jesus Christ, then he's been doubly good to me, not just singly good to me, no matter who we are. I don't think you can feel sorry for a billionaire in this world, and I don't know if I can feel sorry for anybody who has Jesus Christ. Like, I feel sorry for the people that don't have Jesus Christ. But it's just to keep that perspective. It kind of helps me have my eyes open to how God's love is, in a sense that our citizenship is in heaven, and he's going to do whatever it takes in this life, because it's such a small consequence. This life is such a small thing compared to where our real home is, to what the real perspective is, that he's going to, his love is focused on the heavenly perspective. And when I look at it like that, I could see why his love is so different than my love. For example, I remember my earliest memory, I think, was probably about 3.5 years old or 4 years old or something. I remember running across the street when I saw some friends across the street. And then my dad grabbed me and he spanked me and put me in my room. I just remember crying my eyes out. But I look back on it, I see my dad's love for me was way more perfect for me than my love was for myself at that moment. And I kind of see it in the same way, that I came back from India and I got really, really sick from the India trip. But for some reason, God in his amazing love, he saw that I would be heavenly richer in the end because of that horrible flu than I would be if I didn't get it. And so in his perfect love for me, he allowed that. And it helps me just to remember that God's love is so different than my love for myself, or even my love for my family, or my family's love for me. I think any one of my family would have wished for my sickness to be over with immediately, but God loves me so much better that he didn't wish the sickness. He let it linger on for a while because he loves me from a heavenly love. And so I see that I just want to have that mindset that God's love sees me as a heavenly citizen, and whatever builds up my me in heaven, in my true home, that's what He'll do for me. And so it was just a blessing to be thinking about and just continuing to meditate about. As a church, we've been focusing on God's mercies being new every day. And so that's a wonderful thing to keep reminding ourselves of every day, just waking up and going under I like to take really long showers because they're really enjoyable and they help refresh me for the day. And in the same way, we can kind of sit under God's love and mercy every day like that and be refreshed. So we'll go into a time of praise, and then we'll have a time of sharing for all committed members of this church who consider NCCF their church home. We'll have a time for you to be able to share what God's laid on your heart.